So I don't know if you heard this week on the bonus audio episode of Impulsive with the Racka Racka twins, but Logan had somebody that he called a kinesiologist come into his house and try to remove the demons from him using this sort of like anal wand. And he did it
Yes.
because he suspected that demons might have actually been causing the problems in his life over the
Right.
last year or so. There might actually be demons. And that got me thinking that maybe the reason why our show hasn't been picked up by, like, it's not getting a lot of views, we haven't been on Impulsive yet, like, we haven't even got invited to dinner at the Maverick House or anything. And maybe it's not our fault because we're doing everything we can. Maybe we actually have demons too. So
Yeah. I think
for this
that's
episode, we actually got some of those kinesiology wands, the demon wands. I have one in it's sort of a braided deserty style. Do you have your kinesiology wand too?
this is more of a metal kind of more of like a new age
Yeah, they
early
come in all different
2000s.
styles. It's pretty cool, like the world of kinesiology too. So, just in case the problem with the show is that we have demons, we're actually going to put these all the way up our butts for the full episode for this episode, and maybe that'll help us. I don't know with our numbers. You
Yeah, maybe
ready?
it's yeah. I think it could be a superstition, but I think it's smart to
Just to get it in there. Mm, it's really sharp. I was hoping. The walls of the large intestine are pretty soft. I don't think that's blood. That's probably just sweat. I'm probably just nervous about the demons coming out.
ooh.
All right. All right.
Actually feels
Well,
kind of good.
what did you say?
Feels kind of good.
It
Oh,
feels snug.
ooh.
Well, let's hope that works. Well, so anyway, welcome to the Impulsive Postcast, the official Logan Paul podcast after show. Uh, I am Ryan. This is my brother Zach. We are Paulologists. We study Logan Paul and the Paul brothers. We are also a brother team, and we're also from Ohio. And so we have a really intimate knowledge of the Paul brothers.
We are bred from the same geographical location, so to speak, so we feel like we have a certain insight into the boys that many others do not. I'm actually wearing a Cleveland shirt right now, which this is actually a little bit
A little bit.
controversial, so I'm going to go ahead and just close the shirt up.
Yeah, freaking Chief Wahoo. I'm
Yeah.
anti Chief Wahoo.
Yeah, I kind of have stopped wearing the hats, but I still wear this shirt 'cause it's pretty dark. You can't really see it that well unless you be close up. But
It's representative of Chief Wahoo's racist legacy fading away.
that's right. So welcome to the show. Basically,
It was. You want to say more? I was just gonna say we had kind of a slow week this week. I feel like in the Logan world.
kind of, yeah, I guess so. I guess so. Slower than normal.
We had this week on the show was James Aspey, who is like a vegan dude. The Racka Racka twins, who are like crazy Aussie boys, and King Batch,
Oh yeah, I
the
forgot Batch was in that.
Viner, classic Viner.
YouTuber, actor, yeah. Okay, yeah, let's just jump into it with the vegan dude, James Aspey, the Australian born guy. I like this guy.
I like this too. I have the words "peaceful bro" written at the top here because he was like a bro,
Yeah,
but he was like
yeah,
very. He looked like a skater, sort of, but he was like vegan as hell. And
yeah, and
he had a lot of good knowledge. I mean, he was spitting facts left and right. It was like they said that like people in Australia were sort of like nominating or pushing him to run for some political office there, like some
yeah,
like animal rights. I don't remember exactly the title, but I don't know. It's crazy that a dude that can look like he has this whole outfit like curated by PacSun might be a politician.
Exactly what I was thinking before you said it. I was like, yeah.
But yeah, at the beginning of this episode, though, Logan talked about how he's going, following up on the Holes in My Brain vlog, where he thinks he has brain damage and that he's going to repair it by taking pills and sitting in an oxygen chamber every day for an hour. He said that he is sitting every morning. Logan has to go to some office, I think, or maybe he has an oxygen chamber at his house, but he sits in an oxygen chamber for an hour every day. And he reiterates at the beginning of this episode that people were saying that the brain scan was fake and that it was just Google image. And he said he's a legitimate doctor. And and reiterated that anybody who thinks he's lying could suck a cock. And
I heard that and I was like, wow. Once again,
Logan,
you have to disprove.
Yeah, Logan, I'm not saying that the scan was fake. I'm saying that doctor, he's not doing great science right now. He's gotta get some. Just go to a different doctor.
Yeah, and it's not the wand talking. We know we don't want to suck your dick. That's.
I was gonna say, do you think we're putting all this work into fact checking Logan, make sure he stays on. I want Logan to be accepted back into the mainstream just as much as he does, and I feel like I'm doing all this work to help him out. And does he even deserve us doing this for him? I don't feel like I'm getting anything back from Logan. Like I said earlier, I expected, no, we want to be on the show. We want to have our little desk on the set, but maybe we don't need that. But I would have expected like I said, an invite to the Maverick house, some vegan tacos on Tuesday, something like that.
I think it's coming. Once Spencer gets back from China, I think it's going to be a different story.
I hope so. This dude said he took a vow of silence for a year. James Aspey took a vow of silence, didn't talk for a year because animals can't talk, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool.
And pretty insane. I couldn't do that.
Yeah, he said he slipped a few times, but yeah,
I feel like
really tough.
I feel like after a few months, I would just, even a month, I'd just be kind of feeling really weird, and I don't know, maybe depressed, but I have no idea. I think there's been days where I haven't said anything or talked to anyone.
Usually I get very pent up and I need to talk a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. Usually after a day of being home by myself, somebody will get home and I'll just have to tell them a bunch of shit, just so I can have some human interaction.
Mm-hmm. Logan was really pushing back this whole episode about the whole vegan diet and lifestyle. Logan, the whole teaser for this episode was squirrels. I'm higher than a squirrel. You telling me a squirrel is what did he say? As important as me or something?
A squirrel is as valuable. Life is as valuable.
Yeah. And also he's pushed back that the vegan diet was more expensive and that he was low energy on the vegan diet.
Right.
But I don't know. I mean, I'm also skeptical about I do I know there are vegans that live their whole lives being only being vegan and are totally healthy. But I do still wonder if you need a supplemental meat every once in a while.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say because it's your body does adjust and you have to go through an adjustment period. So, but yeah, I mean, it all goes back to genetics, but it is strange to think about. And I will say that I feel like anytime I watch a kind of a food, anyone talking about how animals are animals are mistreated, I'm I should go vegan. I really do. I do feel a sort of responsibility to be more conscious of those choices and do and practice maybe. I don't know, but it always comes back to it is convenience and
I just wish
Even
the
if
culture would be already advanced enough that I would have the infrastructure around me so that it was easy. Because it still is
yeah,
really hard. Well, not really hard. It's getting much easier than it used to be, but it's it's not everywhere yet. I would love
yeah,
to be. I said before, and I learned this word from Impulsive. I'm a flexitarian now, where I try not
yeah,
to eat meat, and I sometimes do. But I'm more like I'd prefer not to, but I'm not gonna like put up a fight if like that's all that there is available at the moment in that space.
yeah. I'm working on becoming a flexitarian more so.
And Logan also said that he was working out 4 hours a day while being vegan, and it's like I feel like that's a really special scenario. Like
Yeah,
no other fucking human is working out 4 hours a day. Like you're kind of that's kind of unreasonable to expect a vegan diet to support that lifestyle, in my
that
opinion.
I think that even a person that is eating meat and is working out 4 hours a day is still going to be really fucking tired and like just that's a lot of physical activity and mental like energy when you're like learning a sport and like having a bunch of people around you helping you train like your body and your mind is working faster and more and like at a consistent rate that yeah you're just gonna fucking be tired as hell like that just makes sense like
Yeah.
4 hours a day like come on.
James said that he might have been still addicted to meat, like that your body literally has an addiction to meat, and that what he was maybe experiencing was withdrawals, which is possible. It is
Yeah,
interesting. It's an interesting point. Uh, One thing they kept going back to was like what makes humans so special. Like why should we be the top of the food chain? And James said it was our voice box because of our ability to communicate and things like that, and our culture. But yeah, I think I don't really have an answer to what makes humans special. Like I've listened to like philosophy podcasts and all kinds of things talking about like what's the human advantage, like what's the difference between us and animals. And it's like kind of the more you investigate it, the more you can't really put your finger on like what defines something as human, why are humans seem to be different than other animals. It is really hard to say. There's a bunch of things.
yeah, it's hard to rationalize that you are the same importance of a squirrel. Like I understand how you can not fathom that,
Yeah.
but
Because for here's an argument. He says like okay, you could argue like we're the smartest, right? But then he said like some animals are smarter than some humans, and that's totally true. Especially like
right,
with the great apes, there are some great apes that are smarter than people with like mental disabilities, like people with Down syndrome, versus like certain animals. Like you would probably say that the animal has more intelligence than the person with the mental disability, but would you say the person with the mental disability is not human? No, you
right.
wouldn't say that. And so our definitions of like human being, once you start to like narrow it down to like any sort of specifics, you can find something that betrays that, and you have to like throw out that rule.
Yeah. God damn it. Someone's knocking on the door. This isn't even my house. Hold on. I don't even want to answer this. It sounds like they're just literally knocking on all the doors right here.
Don't answer it.
Yeah, I'm not going to.
So
Okay.
finally, oh yeah, Spencer said, "Do you think kids should be shown where their food comes from? Like, do you think in school you should have like basically watch some really brutal factory farm videos, like say like age like sixth grade? I don't know what age.
Do you think that we should?
Yeah, are you still looking at the door?
Yeah. Like I can see the dude through the fucking window, like just fucking standing there.
You should get him on the podcast. Bring your phone over there.
If I have a computer,
Oh,
did I do it?
yeah.
All right.
See what he thinks about Logan Paul.
I'm just
ask him if he wants.
not gonna answer it.
Ask him if he wants to be on the podcast.
I just don't live here, so I don't even feel like
He doesn't live here either.
he's still fucking knocking.
He's knocking still. That he wants to be on the show.
Okay, he's asking for it. Hello.
Hi, from the housing department. Okay, to check your apartment.
Oh, hold on a second. I actually don't live here, so I can't really say yes or no. Let me go check.
Okay.
Oh my god, this is a real development in this podcast. Just tell him to scat.
He's from the housing department. He has to check the apartment. Like, I don't know if that's like
what
legit.
even is that? That doesn't
What
sound
does that
legit
even
at
mean?
all. I think he's sizing up the apartment to see if you have any cool electronics, and he's going to come back later and steal them all. Is he in some sort of anonymous polo shirt?
He had an iPad, like with like.
Oh, okay, that's legit. Okay.
Hey, there's someone at your door from like the fucking housing department. Like, is that the same people that were here yesterday? You're here to check your apartment. Like, I don't even know what that means. Did your landlord tell you like anything like that?
This has scam written all over it.
Yeah, well, this is some dude. I'm just like, I don't live here, so I can't really say, but why? Like,
You have to give me instructions. Is he at the door right now?
yeah. All right, let's just get back to the podcast.
Are you gonna
Okay,
just
yes.
leave him hanging there at the door then?
Well, I'm not. I don't have the authority to tell him yes or no. So
Tell him to go away.
I mean,
Tell him he's canceled.
You're canceled, motherfucker. Get out of here. Okay, so do I think that people that should be shown in schools? I kind of do.
Yeah, it's harsh.
I feel like I probably would have went through a time of being vegetarian at least if I would have saw that. Maybe.
I think if kids are shown some of it, I think they have to. I don't know. It's really fucking brutal. And it's like the question is like, why would you show them that if our diet needs some type of meat? Like, why are you gonna shame us for just doing what we do? You know?
Yeah.
But I guess it really comes down to like, do we actually need it? And if not, then definitely we got to show the kids those docs. But I don't know. I think if there was the world like 5 or 10 years from now and there's way more vegan options, I think that people are going to really come around to it.
I think so too.
I think the future of humans is vegan.
Or at least vegetarian.
Yeah, because I do like eggs. Like he was saying, like the egg, like factory farm, like the egg production is bad. But I have this. Maybe I'm an idiot, but I have this in my mind that like eggs don't necessarily have to be that cruel, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you have your own kind of like farm of like just free running chicken that lay eggs, like that could be a pretty like humane way of eating eggs, I think.
Yeah, they mentioned it too in the episode. Logan and Mike, they were like, if I could just have like an egg omelet, I would be
with
totally
some cheese. Yeah,
yeah,
and I was kind of I was like, that's true.
Yeah, because like I said, like I'm freaking flexitarian right now, but I eat an egg every day, egg or two.
Yeah,
I try to buy the cage-free ones. I don't buy the very cheapest ones, but I also don't buy like the $7 a carton ones. And I know that if I buy those $7 carton ones, that those are the happiest chickens. But it's like, egg, man.
Is it like, are you really making a difference by paying for a different egg? Is
that just marketing? Are they just like getting more money from me because they know I'll pay it? I know.
That's what I
once got some eggs that were like very expensive. Like they were like I said, like $7 or $8, and they came with like a mini newspaper that like told me what was going, like the comings and goings on the farm, like what was going on that week at the farm. I mean, I don't know if that was like 100% propaganda, but
I feel like it probably was. Yeah, it sounds like it is, but I do like that.
At the very end of the episode, they talked about vegan boners, and that Spencer and James thought that their boners were way stronger and better because they were vegan.
That was really funny because I think like Spencer was kind of trolling Logan, and Logan was like kind of like, wait, what? Like really? Like he was kind of just like,
because they're talking about better blood flow. Like if you
Yeah.
have less meat in your diet, that you have better blood flow. Which it sounds legitness.
It does, but like it would have helped if they maybe would have just pulled out their boners and just compared.
Yeah. Now this on the right is a vegan boner, and this on the
Like
left.
Spencer gets out his dick, just flicks it, and it's just like all right, let's
overall,
but
I like that guy a lot.
yeah, he had a combative tone that was appropriate for the episode and to combat Logan.
Everything Logan said that was like ignorant, like I'm better than a squirrel. He was like, it's like interesting you say that, but
Yeah, and he liked to talk a lot. He was once he got going, he was definitely going. I could see his year of silence had really affected him to be like, okay, I have a lot to say.
Mm-hmm. I'm a James Aspey head. If I were in Australia, I'd get on board with his campaign. I'd get him in the office.
After the episode, I was like working out while I was listening to it, and after the episode, I was like, I think I'm gonna go vegan.
Yeah, I thought the same thing, and I think the only thing I can do in the meantime, I mean, I could go vegan, but everybody around me is not vegan. It's so annoying. Like, I would have to be the annoying person. That's the thing that you don't want to be.
Right.
You don't want to do that to people.
I was thinking specifically like at this dude's still knocking.
The housing guy.
Yeah.
You got to tell him his freaking
he's literally he's literally knocking on all the doors.
How's he back? Nobody's answering, I guess.
I went and got Nejla, and she just is still laying in bed, so I don't think she's gonna answer it.
All right, guys. We'll see what happens by the end of the episode. We'll see if he keeps knocking. It's a good little like secondary narrative we have going on here.
Just answer it again, like, hey, like I went and told whoever lives here, and they didn't really react. I can't say whether you can come in or not. They didn't buy it. Like they don't believe that you're legit, dude. I'm sorry. All right,
I would say like I buy lots of fake meat, like Morningstar. I forget the other brands. There's a couple of big brands of like fake meats that I do buy a lot of, and I feel like that's one thing I feel like is good. I'm supporting like the fake meat businesses, and those have the best chance of getting people who are hooked on meat to switch over because it feels and tastes a lot like meat if it's well made, and that there'll be more of those companies, and they'll be available everywhere. So
I kind of want to go get one of the Impossible Burgers because I haven't had one yet, but everyone talks about how good they are.
I don't know if I had one either. All right, Wednesday's episode, the Racka Racka twins.
These boys were fucking just revved up. They were the most like energetic. Like this was the most like chaotic episode I would say, because they were just yelling and just talking over each other and brought a good energy. I think the boys had a good time. Yeah, everyone had a good time, I think.
They were brothers, right?
Yeah.
They looked like brothers. Yeah, were they literally twins?
I think, but
somebody think we would know.
They call them the twins.
Yeah. I didn't know if that was just branding, But the Racka Racka twins, I actually don't remember their names. I didn't even write them down. Freak. Anyway, I hadn't even heard of them, and maybe it's because they kept mentioning that YouTube buries them. Like they don't, like a lot of their videos don't get returned in search results. Like they don't get surfaced for related videos. Like I guess their videos, or they claim that their videos are so violent and breaking YouTube's rules in general that YouTube is hiding them almost. At least that's their claim.
Yeah. I mean, I guess if they're that's what they said, and that was their beef with YouTube, and the whole kind of they were on the cusp of like YouTube trying to figure out what is okay, what's not, and like the whole
They
fucking
said YouTube has been Disney-fied.
Kind of true. I from what I understand, it sounds like that's kind of true.
Yeah. They said that like one of the things they talk about with the Jackass style stuff, which like that's like a lot of what they do is like just crazy like hurting their bodies, like wrestling type stuff.
Right.
They talked about how they really looked up to like Mick Foley. If you remember back in, I watched wrestling for like a little bit when I was little, and Mick Foley, Mankind, was like a big wrestler, and he was a guy that like really abused his body. He would like jump onto like nails and things like he was abusing his body for entertainment, and they're like very much in that legacy, which is kind of cool. But I guess the thing they say on YouTube or in general is like it can't be easily recreatable, and so if you do anything insane, it has to be like very outlandish so that kids won't easily just do it at home. For instance, like stapling your body with a regular old stapler. I feel like that's maybe too recreatable. You know what I mean? Because everybody's got a stapler. But if you like, yeah, you have to add some like insane element to it, like you're stapling yourself while skydiving. You know, you have to like something a little bit. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I really hadn't heard of these guys, but fuck, they are crazy. They showed the video of him like getting like the suplex like onto like a couple tables, which is literally like WWF style, WWE. Like, it looked fucking crazy, and like they're talking about how he like, yeah, you probably shouldn't do this. You could get really hurt, and, like fucking paralyze yourself or kill yourself, and like he just doesn't care. Like they're just like, fuck it, like this is gonna be sweet, like. Which is kind of like the classic YouTuber mentality.
Yeah. He said, it's performance art. I'm expressing myself.
I mean, I can't disagree with that.
It is performance art. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that he was on an undercard of the fight, and apparently, like, just really did really well too, and just really beat down his opponent, who I'm not sure who it was, but yeah, I didn't know that.
I just like the whole time I was just like I like listening to these guys talk because like I don't know if you ever noticed this, but like twins, a lot of times you know how like twins will like finish each other's sentences and like go back and forth like really really fast because they spend so much time together that it seems like they're just one mind.
Yeah,
that was like they were totally like that. It was like there's something about like I don't know what it is. I'd love to like listen to twins talk all day.
Yeah. I guess I didn't really notice it, but yeah.
It really reminded me, you know, those one conjoined twins, the two girls, like Abby and I forget the other girl's name. They're very famous, like the two girls that have like the heads right next to each other. Oh my god! After I watched this episode, I googled to like watch some of their old videos because like listening to them talk is crazy.
Yeah,
you gotta watch it.
I haven't seen that in a while, but
it made me really want to make like an animated cartoon where the Racka Racka twins do the voices of like a two-headed monster.
That actually sounds like a really good idea. Damn,
they have such a good accent.
I think they would. I think they would like that a lot too. I mean, I did say like this was one of the most rowdy episodes. Like they were kind of like talking over each other a little bit almost. So like I definitely know what you're saying there, but
a part of it right at the beginning they talked Mike's talked about how he used to be fat. He used to be 300 pounds, and they were like, "Oh, you used to be a piggy. Let's throw some food at the piggy." Let's throw some food at the piggy. I was like, "Oh my god." Yeah, not sensitive at all.
They were really obnoxious. I liked it though. Like they do seem like they'd be fun to be around. But I think even like Logan and Mike, like the boys, they kind of said like these guys are fucking crazy. Like
they had that part in the middle where they had a bunch of fake glass, like breakaway sugar glass, where they all just broke bottles over each other's heads randomly, which was fun.
It was a really
fun part of the app.
Yeah, it was good. Like at first, I didn't know what was happening. I was like, "What?" Like I didn't.
Yeah, the first glass bottle break, I thought it might have been a real thing. They got me. Very entertaining.
And you could tell that at the last one where Spencer did, like you could tell Spencer like didn't really want to like do it. Like you know what I mean? He doesn't want to like inflict any pain on anyone. Like
Yeah. I never mess with like breakaway glass like that. I would love to try one.
Yeah, it looks fun.
And a quote that Logan said during the middle of the episode when talking about like basically how the world hates him, like just everybody loves to hate Logan. And he said at one point that the fans want me to be the villain YouTube needs. Do you remember that quote?
I do.
Logan, he said, he's like basically in the back of his mind, he's thinking about becoming like, instead of tiptoeing around what he says and trying to get back in the public's favor by being very aware and conscious of what he does, I feel that he has this urge that maybe I need to become the worst person on YouTube somehow. Which, you think that's possible? Logan becomes the villain of YouTube?
I think it's possible. I don't think that he's going to do it. I think that he's more so just wanting to like cover himself for saying anything like that might be his opinion that is not popular and getting any backlash. I don't think that he really wants to like. Do I think that he could? Yeah. Do I think he will? No. I think he just wants to be like, I'm going to say what I'm going to say, and like I don't want to be like criticized for it. And I guess people should just expect it.
But it would be cool if he became the villain in a way that was like somewhat real and somewhat cartoonish, like WWE. Like, you know what I mean? Like he like changes the cool bus into sort of like a black spiky vehicle. He gets like he becomes like almost like a cartoonish villain. That would be fun. YouTube itself is like all kind of fake, you know, like it's all one reality show and sort of. And so he could become the character of the villain, which would be kind of cool.
Speaking of the cool bus, they've been talking about how they're trying to like get rid of it or like give it away.
He's been trying to offer it up to a bunch of people. It's because it's trash. Probably the engine sucks.
Yeah, I think they probably put a ton of money into it, and they're just like, dude, this thing is just not great.
Yeah.
Maybe we could get the bus, and that will become our studio.
Oh, that'd be cool.
We could be out. Maybe we could be outside in the driveway in the cool bus doing our show. They're gonna cut to us.
In the bonus audio of part of this episode was the thing we were talking about at the beginning, where I don't know if it's actually called this because I googled it and I can't find exactly what they were talking about, but kinesiology. He said that like maybe the reason why everyone hates him on YouTube and he's been having such a bad year with the suicide force and everything was not that he's made bad decisions or that, you know, he made any mistakes, but if, in fact, he's had a demon living inside of him.
Yeah.
And so he talked about how he had a kinesiologist come over and they immediately like had this sort of like magical wand that they wanted to put near his butt to like draw the demons out of his butthole. And they were talking about it for a while, and then he eventually said, like, yeah, I let him do it. And they're like, what? And he's like, yeah, I mean, don't knock it till you try it. You know, anything might help.
That's so ridiculous.
That was great. Because it's just so funny. He's getting his brain scanned by this quack scientist. He's getting his demons pulled out of his butt by this other, like, fake pseudo-scientific thing.
I feel like he might be trolling about this shit.
The butt wand?
And even the fucking brain scan.
No.
No, I know. Whenever he got pissed and said everyone can suck his cock, I was kind of like, okay, I think he is.
No, he really believes this because there's a lot of. I mean, the guy, Daniel, what's his name?
I don't know, but yeah, you said he is a smart guy. He's a snake oil salesman. He's done his homework. He knows how to like say the right thing. He talks about these UCLA fucking like trials, experimentation, which apparently holds no real like scientific like value, but other than like just some correlation or something.
He's gone on like lots of TV shows and stuff. Like he's like he's
like
not,
a Hollywood brain.
He's not swindling the dumbest people. He's swindling like everyone because he is like it's mixed in with real science. You know, it's not. It's Anyway, Logan believes it. So the final episode was King Batch. I was actually waiting for this episode for a while. I was like, when's King Bash going to be on? Just because King Bash was such a figure in the Vine scene in my mind, you know?
Yeah, it's a kind of a throwback to the OG Trash Cast of 2014.
Yeah. King Batch was truly the king of content, maybe. One of them.
Yeah, and I think we kind of always agreed that we liked King Batch. We thought he was pretty funny. He has good sketches. I remember specifically that one cereal sketch.
Oh, yeah.
It's really fucking funny.
With the brother eating the other brother's all the cereal, pouring a gigantic bowl. So all the cereal's gone. Look, guys, we're laughing at it. Go check it out. King Batch cereal sketch.
Yeah.
You just got to see it. It's no real jokes. It's just like the way, like the mood and the timing and his faces and things like that.
Yeah, it's funny.
At the beginning of this episode, Mike gets a major head injury because, again, he's just copying Logan. He's just riding Logan's coattails. Logan's got a head injury, so Mike wanted one too. He's got a gigantic lump on his head, huge lump.
Yeah.
And he was kind of acting weird that episode. Would you agree? Did it seem like he was a little conked out?
I'm not
glitchy.
Not that I noticed, but
he said he fell off a skateboard, going really fast. It was a really bad head injury.
I have a feeling
fucked up.
I have a feeling that he just fell when he was drunk.
Oh, you think that they wanted to call it an electric skateboard accident, but actually it was a drunken fall because the fans wouldn't like to hear that. That's dangerous.
Yeah.
That's a good conspiracy.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, either way, I don't know. I didn't notice him being slow or different really, but Spencer was in China, so it did like leave a little bit more space.
Mm-hmm.
So
we got to get Spencer back, even though he didn't say much. He doesn't. Some episodes he does, but yeah, we need him back.
Yeah, he fills some holes for sure.
Mm-hmm. Fills some holes with some kinesiology ones.
Or just some pea or plant protein powder.
King Batch, he just turned 30 years old. I thought he was the same age as all the other Viners. Like, I thought he was around early 20s. But I guess he said he had been in Hollywood for a while before Vine started, trying to be an actor the traditional way, but used Vine as like a way to get his name out there. And it worked really well.
Yeah, I knew he was a little bit older, but I wasn't sure how old. I definitely knew he was older than me, so that makes sense that he's 30. But yeah, I mean, not too much. There wasn't like a whole lot that I got out of this episode. It was kind of more of just like a normal conversation. It wasn't too much about where he came from, which I was a little bit bummed. I wanted to hear a little bit more of a backstory on him.
Where was he from, actually? Did they say? Hometown?
I don't even fucking remember. I have no idea. Maybe he's from Los Angeles.
They talked about it, but one of the big things in this episode, they were talking about how when they were filming Airplane Mode or a sketch or something, that King Batch was doing a scene in the ocean where he was like swimming in the heavy waves, and that King Batch said that he almost drowned during that scene. It was like kind of scary. And then he said that like then a few weeks later he was in Australia and some guy he was staying with or whatever actually did drown in the ocean like a few days later, and he was like, it was kind of like they were all joking and stuff, and then it like turned into like a real serious moment. And then the screen went to black. Did you notice that?
I was listening to it.
You were only listening. The screen went black. It was almost like, fuck, this is not good. We can't, like, I wonder what, I think, you know, like this is death. This is the top. This is Logan's, you know, these are the hot button issues with Logan, is that he's not sensitive around death.
Right.
And so instead of talking about it, they kind of just all got kind of quiet and awkward and silent, cut to black. And then you heard voices say, I think we're going to have to like cut that out. And then it came back many like minutes later or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I had to say, like, wouldn't that have been Logan's opportunity to like speak more, I don't know, maturely about death or something? I don't know. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I remember the moment. I didn't know it was cut, but yeah, I mean, that would have
it
been
was
probably an appropriate time to say something like insightful or I guess compassionate or
I
something.
guess they just like weren't in the mood to like get into like a deep combo, and we're like, let's just not talk about that. But
Yeah.
it was significant. That's the first time anything like that's happened on the podcast. I forgot to say that a few episodes ago they were talking about they have like a review team, right? You've heard those words before.
Yeah. Yeah.
They said review team, don't cut this, things like that.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say to Logan right now, let us be a part of the review team. Let us send us the raw episodes, the like 2-hour raw footage, and we'll tell you what to cut. Let us be a part of the review team.
Yeah. True. I don't think that could hurt. I'm trying to think of anything significant that they really talked about.
On the Suicide Forest thing, he said that
Oh, right.
that King Batch did text him on like when that happened as like some sort of text of support. He's like, I remember that.
Yeah,
One of the people
him and Amanda Cerny were like, hey, like we're here with you, but we also can't really be your friend right now because we don't want to be our careers to be stunted.
Did they say that they couldn't be around him? I didn't hear
They
that
basically
part.
said that. Yeah, they said like they're like, hey, like I don't know if they actually said that to him, but I think it was kind of like understood.
This is a part of the Impulsive Postcast where we talk about another YouTuber's podcast, Views, with David Dobrik and Jason Nash. This is what we call the Views Teeny Weeny Podcast. Views Teeny Weeny Podcast. Views. Welcome back, Weenies. This is the Views Teeny Weeny Podcast. This week, when two podcasts collide, there was a part in the King Batch episode of Impulsive where King Batch wanted a sip of Logan's giant water that he always has on his desk. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And he said, "You can have a sip of your water." And then Logan said, "No, I'm sick. You can't." Like he didn't want him to sip out of it because he's sick. And then he said, "Also, there's Molly in it," which, if you listen to Views this week, you'd know was a reference to the story about Jason Nash actually drinking Molly out of somebody's water at Coachella last year, right?
Yeah.
So it was a very small reference, but I recognized it immediately that Logan probably had just listened to that episode and wanted to, reference, because again,
Wow.
Logan wants David on the podcast.
I don't know about that because we don't know when they record, but that's
yes,
it.
I do know that. That's a fact. That was a reference.
Okay.
It's gotta
Gotcha.
be. You didn't notice it though when it happened?
I did know. I didn't make the connection because I just didn't make the connection, but
We know that Logan's a real David head, and he's trying to get him on, but David will not go on Logan Paul's podcast because David has a reputation to maintain.
by the way, what the fuck? Views has teased being their video, and it just keeps and they didn't even fucking mention it this week, which was annoying.
What, that they were recording, or that they didn't?
That
they just put it up.
They're just not acknowledging the fact that they haven't put up the video podcast.
Well, in the video while they were recording it, they were like, "We have cameras up. This is the first time we've actually had cameras, and it's weird." Things like that. So they were shooting video, but then, I checked both of their Twitter feeds, David and Jason. I checked to see, like, sorry, guys, there's a video glitch. No, but they're supposed to be posting videos of these podcasts now, and we're just not getting them.
I think that, like, David's process is so, like, last minute, like, haphazardly. Is it haphazardly or
I don't know what that comes from, but it's haphazardly.
Whatever. Yeah, and like they just probably just fuck up or like and shit
Yeah.
just goes wrong. But
I will say it takes a while to like. I'm cutting. Going on. Oh my god, that's so loud. I have been cutting a lot of podcasts, like video podcasts lately, that are around like 45 minutes to 50 minutes lately with like 3 cameras. Like I've been cutting those lately, and it takes a long time. So like I could imagine that they just literally don't have the manpower to edit things like that.
yeah,
You gotta hit the mute button.
sorry.
But yeah, I could see that they just got all the footage. I don't know how many cameras they were shooting with, but they were shooting with like 3 cameras. Freaking who's the dude who edits their show?
Hayden, but I don't think he does.
No.
Podcasts.
David's.
Oh, Joe.
Yeah, Joe's teeny weeny. Joe probably doesn't edit. It would just take him too long.
Well,
so David, if you're listening to the show, I've been editing a lot of podcasts lately. Give me the footage. I could take care of it for you.
Yeah.
I have really reasonable rates.
Yeah. In addition to being on Logan's review team, we'll also take on the video editing role for views.
Mm-hmm.
Although, obviously, we'll have the paperwork completely separate. We don't want to intersect those two. So we'll create 2 different LLCs so there'll be no confusion or relation.
Yeah. So that's it. I don't really have much else to say about King Batch.
Yeah.
They talked about Lil Michaela for a second and AI. It sounds like Logan's manager Jeff like thinks he like knows about AI and robots, but he actually doesn't. He like talked very confident, like he off camera about like AI and robots, and it sounded like he wanted to know a lot about them, but he actually didn't. And they talked about VR porn for a second and talked about how pretty soon there's going to gotta be a robotic jerker.
Which I'm sure there is.
There already is a robotic jerker. They're not mainstream yet, but they're out there. So, in other Logan news, they posted, he posted Trash Tales. God, I can't even remember what it was. It wasn't a good one. You're excited. You don't like Trash Tales, and I don't blame you. It's not great. They talked about the Flat Earth documentary coming out this week too, so I'm imagining they're like the vlogs they haven't been pumping out as hard as they have been in the last couple weeks. So I'm assuming they're just finishing up the Flat Earth stuff.
Yeah.
And that's supposed to come out the 20th?
I'm actually not sure.
I'm almost positive they said the 20th, which is Wednesday, right? Yeah. So this Wednesday, hopefully we'll get the Flat Earth doc. Maybe we'll do a special episode of the Postcast just covering the Flat Earth doc. Might be worth it.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess we'll see.
So that is the Postcast. Thanks for watching and listening. If you want to, I don't know, help us out, you can review us in the iTunes store. No one ever will, so don't blame you. If you're listening to this on podcast, you're only hearing the audio and you want to see the video of us, you're going to have to search Impulsive Postcast on YouTube, and then YouTube's going to say, did you mean Impulsive Podcast? And then you have to click the button, the blue text that says no, Postcast.
Yep,
and
YouTube's
you'll find
fucking
us.
burying us. You'll find us next to the Racka Racka twins.
So that's good. And what else? What else do we say at the end of this?
Leave us a comment. Let us know if you want to be on the show. We'd love to have you. I think we have a couple people that are, possibly going to be on the show in the upcoming week. So
really, are you just making that up?
I'm just thinking that somebody out there probably is.
Somebody. So. If you like the show more than the ones in the past, let us know, because we want to know if those demon sticks up our butts are working.
Yeah. I'm going to leave mine up for the rest of the day, I think.
That's a good idea, just to be sure.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for being here, guys. We'll see you next week. And take it easy, fam. Peace.
Bam, 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 boom, boom.